Welcome to Top 10, the home of rapid-fire rankings. From fascinating facts to the freshest trends, we unveil the best of the best, all in a bite-sized package. Immerse yourself in a world where less is more, and seconds count. Stay curious, stay engaged, and remember, life is always surprising when you're counting down with Top 10.
Buckle up, America. Kamala's potential impact on you. All right, folks, let's talk Kamala Harris. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, why are we talking about this? Is it just because her name rhymes vaguely with caramel and you're craving a Milky Way? Look, you're not wrong. But also, the potential impact of a Kamala Harris presidency is huge and, frankly, a bit terrifying. We're talking sweeping changes to everything from healthcare to education, from the economy to the very air we breathe, which, let's be honest, might be the only thing left untouched by the fiery pits of late-stage capitalism. But hey, maybe Kamala's got a plan for that too. Over the next few minutes, we're diving deep into the policies, the promises, and yes, even the potential pitfalls of a Harris administration. We'll separate the fact from the, shall we say, alternative facts, and try to understand what a future with Kamala at the helm might actually look like. Spoiler alert, it's going to be interesting.
First up, let's talk policy. Harris has been vocal about a lot of things, and by vocal I mean she's got plans detailed, meticulously crafted plans. We're talking criminal justice reform, gun control, climate change action. She's probably got a binder on it thicker than a Cheesecake Factory menu. Now, whether these plans will survive contact with the bureaucratic buzzsaw that is Washington, D.C. is another matter. Passing legislation in America is like trying to herd cats while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. It's messy, it's chaotic, and it rarely ends well for the cats. But hey, let's give Kamala the benefit of the doubt for now. Maybe she's the political whisperer who can finally tame Congress and get things done. Or maybe those badgers are about to get a whole lot angrier. Either way, strap yourselves in, America, because the policy landscape is about to get a whole lot bumpier.
Let's talk healthcare, a topic that's about as fun to discuss as a root canal, but infinitely more important. Harris has been a vocal proponent of Medicare for all, which, depending on who you ask, is either the greatest thing since sliced bread or the harbinger of socialist apocalypse. The debate over healthcare is messy, complicated, and not going away anytime soon. Harris's plan would involve significant changes to the current system, with winners and losers. Will it bankrupt the nation? Will it finally force insurance companies to stop sending incomprehensible bills? One thing's for sure, if Kamala gets her way, the healthcare landscape will look very different. Now, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, the economy. Specifically, how Kamala Harris might impact your wallet. Will she be a job-creating machine, ushering in an era of prosperity not seen since the Roman Empire? Or will she bankrupt the nation faster than you can say national debt clock? Again, I'm not an economist. I'm just a guy who once spent a summer selling novelty hats on the boardwalk. And let me tell you, the economy was not kind to me. But what I can tell you is that Harris has proposed a number of economic policies, from tax hikes on the wealthy to increased spending on infrastructure and education. Whether these policies will have the desired effect remains to be seen. The economy is a fickle beast, easily spooked by things like global pandemics, trade wars, and the occasional rogue tweet. Predicting its future is about as reliable as a weather forecast in a hurricane. But one thing's for sure, if you're hoping for a crystal ball prediction on the economic impact of a Harris presidency, you're going to be disappointed.
Okay, let's talk education. Harris has big plans for education reform, from increasing teacher pay to making college more affordable. And look, I'm all for teachers getting paid more. They deserve it. They're the ones who have to deal with your children, and frankly, that alone should qualify them for hazard pay. But the devil, as they say, is in the details. How will these plans be funded? Will they actually improve educational outcomes? Or will they just create more bureaucracy and paperwork for already overworked teachers? Look, I'm not an educator. The closest I've ever come to teaching was giving my dog some basic obedience training, and let's just say it didn't go well. But I do know this: education is important. It's the foundation of a strong society. And if we want our kids to succeed, we need to invest in their education. The question is, will Kamala's plans be the right investment?
All right, let's talk social justice. Harris has a long record on these issues, both as a prosecutor and as a senator. She's spoken out against systemic racism, police brutality, and discrimination in all its forms. Now, I'm not here to debate her record. That's a whole other video, and frankly, I'm not sure I have enough emotional bandwidth to handle it right now. But what I can say is this: these are complex issues with no easy answers. There are deep-seated systemic problems that need to be addressed, and it's going to take more than just words to fix them. Will Kamala be able to bring about real change? Will she be able to bridge the divides in our country and create a more just and equitable society? Honestly, I don't know. But I do know this: these are conversations we need to be having. We need to talk about these issues, even when they're uncomfortable, even when they're difficult.
Next up, let's talk about the environment. Specifically, whether Kamala Harris can single-handedly reverse climate change and save the planet from imminent doom. Spoiler alert, probably not. Look, I'm all for saving the planet. I recycle, I compost, I even drive a hybrid car. Okay, it's my mum's hybrid, but still, I drive it sometimes. But let's be realistic. Climate change is a global problem that requires global solutions. One person, even the President of the United States, can't solve it alone. That said, Harris has proposed a number of ambitious environmental policies, from rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement to investing in renewable energy. Will these policies be enough to avert environmental catastrophe? Again, probably not, but they're a start.
All right, let's talk foreign policy. Specifically, how Kamala Harris might navigate the complex and often treacherous waters of international diplomacy. Will she be a hawk or a dove, a pragmatist or an idealist? Honestly, it's hard to say. Foreign policy is like a game of chess played on a moving train during an earthquake. There are so many variables, so many moving parts, that it's impossible to predict with any certainty what will happen. But what we do know is that Harris has a long history of working on foreign policy issues, both as a senator and as a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee. She's known for her sharp intellect, her tough questioning, and her willingness to stand up for American interests. Whether that translates into a successful foreign policy presidency remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure: the world will be watching.
Next up, let's talk technology. Specifically, how Kamala Harris might regulate the tech giants of Silicon Valley. Will she be their friend or their foe? Now, I'm not a tech expert. The most advanced piece of technology I own is a toaster oven that can also air fry, and even that took me a while to figure out. But what I do know is that tech companies have become incredibly powerful, and with great power comes great responsibility. Or, the potential for abuse, whichever comes first. Harris has spoken out about the need to regulate tech companies, particularly when it comes to issues like privacy and antitrust. But whether she'll actually follow through on those promises remains to be seen.
All right, let's talk immigration. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, and it's one that Kamala Harris has grappled with throughout her career. As a senator from California, she's seen firsthand the impact of immigration, both positive and negative. She's spoken out in favor of comprehensive immigration reform, including a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. But she's also faced criticism for her past record as a prosecutor, particularly her stance on sanctuary cities. It's a nuanced issue, and one that's likely to be a major focus of her presidency.
Finally, let's talk about personal freedoms. Specifically, how Kamala Harris might impact your individual rights. Will she be a champion of liberty or a threat to your freedom? Now, I'm not a constitutional scholar. The closest I've come to studying the Constitution was watching that one episode of Schoolhouse Rock. But what I do know is that our personal freedoms are precious, and they're worth fighting for. Harris has a long record on these issues, both as a prosecutor and as a senator. She's spoken out in favor of LGBTQ+ rights, reproductive rights, and gun control. but she's also faced criticism for her record on criminal justice issues, particularly her handling of police misconduct cases. It's a complex issue and one that's likely to be a major focus of her presidency.
So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the potential impact of a Kamala Harris presidency. Will it be good, bad, a bizarre combination of both, like pineapple on pizza? Honestly, it's too early to tell. But what's important is that we're having this conversation. We're engaging with the issues, we're thinking critically about the future, and we're not just blindly accepting whatever information is being spoon-fed to us. Because at the end of the day, the future of this country is not up to Kamala Harris or any politician for that matter. It's up to us. So let's get to work.
Thanks for watching Top 10 Countdowns. Desire more? Glide your cursor to the subscribe button, give it a click. Don't forget that notification bell. It's your golden ticket to our world of riveting Top 10 Countdowns. See you soon in the next video.